Today I'm going to show you how to make some red beans and rice. We're going to put some sausage in it. I guess it makes it kind of like jambalaya, but probably not, because I'm not going to add anything extra really into it. So I'm going to use 3 of these little sausages that look like this, and I'm going to do one of these beans and rice mix from the store. This cost about $1, and this was a package of 6, but I already used some of them, and it was about $3.50, so pretty cheap. Let's get started. So for this mix here, it says that you need to bring 2 cups of water to boiling with the contents of the package, and then then you bring it to a simmer for 7 minutes covered. So I'm going to go get 2 cups of water and we're going to start this up. So here's my 2 cups of water. I'm going to go ahead and set the burner up to high, and then I'm going to dump the contents of the package. Mix it up just a little to make sure it's all in the water. And while that's heating up, I'm going to go ahead and cut up the sausage to the size I want. Now how I'm going to cut this sausage is I'm going to cut it lengthwise, and then I'm going to cut it into a bunch of pieces all the way down the length of it. So I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. So this is the size of the piece that I cut them into. You see you get a whole little plate full of them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in a skillet and kind of fry them. So there we go. Dump these in. And just to make sure they cook all the way through, I'm going to add some water and let it just kind of cook off. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on hot. There's about half a cup of water. So once the red beans and rice start to boil, I'm going to turn it to simmer, and I'm going to go set the timer for 7 minutes. And then as the meat starts to boil, I'm going to come over and kind of play with it with the spatula. Alright, the red beans and rice have started to boil. I'm going to go ahead and turn those down to let it start to simmer, and then you can see my meat is also boiling over here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cover this. I'm going to go set my timer for 7 minutes. Now for my meat, this is just to make sure it cooks all the way through. My sausage I bought was completely uncooked, so I just want to make sure it gets cooked all the way through. After this water boils off, then I'm going to let it get seared in the pan a little. So I'll come back when more of the water boils off. This normally doesn't take too long to let the water boil off. And like I said, I'm just doing this to make sure that the meat's cooked all the way through. Okay, the water's almost all boiled off. And when all the water's gone, I'm going to turn the heat off. And we're just going to let it sit in the pan until the beans and rice are ready. Okay, so all the water's gone, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. Make sure you keep moving them around so they don't burn. After the 7 minutes of them sitting simmering while they're covered, the next thing is to just let it turn off the heat and let it rest for 3 or 4 minutes. And while that's happening, this meat will cool down a little, and then I'll add them together. I'll show you a close-up of the meat. So see how it's seared? There's the timer for the rice and beans. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the rice and beans off. And I'm going to go set another timer to let it sit for 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, so the timer went off for my rice and beans. So I'm going to go ahead and take the lid off. And I'm just going to kind of mix this up a little. It still looks kind of watery, but it will thicken up as it cools off. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mix and put the meat into it. And I'm just going to mix it up. I'm also going to add a little hot sauce to it. Kind of spice it up a little. And I'm going to let it sit here for another few minutes to cool off. Okay, so you can see it kind of thickened up now that it's kind of cooled off some. I'd probably let it cool off just a little more, but let's go ahead and spoon some out. Normally I'll eat half of this and I'll save the other half of it for another night. And it's pretty quick and easy to reheat. You can do it in the microwave or put it back on the stove. Okay. Delicious. And I just want to say thanks for watching my video. I'll try and put some more cooking videos up. I don't do it often enough, I guess. I eat too much fast food. This is a cheap, easy way to fix dinner that's, I don't know if it's healthy for you, but it's cheaper than eating fast food, and to me it tastes better.